It's 10 trivia questions on Sword and Sandal movies for Patreon subscriber Vernon Heege. This is Trivia with Buds. Welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thanks for checking out the show, and thanks for leaving iTunes reviews if you listen on an Apple product. We're up to 342 of those reviews, and you don't even have to put any words. You could just put a star rating, but if you want to say in detail what you like about the show, I always like reading those reviews, and they bring a smile to my face. And I would appreciate it. It helps get more eyes and ears on the program. We've been doing this show almost every single day for the past 6 years almost. And it's my favorite thing to do, and I'm so glad you're here to listen to it. So thank you. Check out triviawithbuds.com if you have any events coming up, some virtual or in-person bingo, trivia, or game show events. I would love to host those for you. It is my quiet time of year as we transition from winter to spring. And around this time last year is when we moved from Southern California to Northeast Tennessee. And that worked out really good because of the quietness of not doing shows. I got to pack everything and drive this big truck across the country and all that crazy stuff that comes with moving. But if you have anything coming up, I would love to host it for you. Just shoot me an email or hit the contact button on triviawithbuds.com. Today's episode is on Sword and Sandal movies, which are all films that have, you guessed it, swords and sandals in them. Things with battles and armies and sand. Usually wear sandals near sand. So there you go. And we're going to jump into that for Vernon Heege, who is a Patreon subscriber, in just a bit. Before we get to it, Geek Out challenges for movies, 4 films in which a Bigfoot or Yeti appears. That's a fun one. For television, 4 TV shows on which farmers appear. For literature, 2 characters who are mentioned but never appear in a scene. For music, 2 songs by the late, great Whitney Houston. And for miscellaneous, 2 children of U.S. presidents. 2 children of U.S. presidents. There you go. We're all warmed up. We're ready to rock and roll, and we're diving into that sand I mentioned earlier with Sword and Sandal movies. Here we go. All right, bust out the popcorn and get yourself to a theater for some Sword and Sandal films of recent times and yesteryear. I'll give you a description. You name the movie. Here's number 1, Sword and Sandal films. The son of Zeus and Hera is stripped of his immortality as an infant and must become a true hero in order to reclaim it. Sword and Sandal films, number 1. Number 2, Moses learns of his identity as a Hebrew and his destiny to become the chosen deliverer of his people. Number 2. Number 3, a young man must stop the Lord of Darkness from destroying daylight and marrying the woman he loves. Number 4, Merlin the Magician helps Arthur Pendragon unite the Britons around the Round Table of Camelot, even as dark forces conspire to tear it apart. Number 4. Number 5, Perseus must battle Medusa and the Kraken to save the princess Andromeda. Number 5. And number 6, the hero decides to fight back as an outlaw when faced with the tyranny of the Sheriff of Nottingham. Number 6. Number 7, King Leonidas of Sparta and a force of hundreds fight the Persians at the time of 480 BC. King Leonidas of Sparta and a force of hundreds fight the Persians in 480 BC. Number 8, Scottish warrior William Wallace leads his countrymen in a rebellion to free his homeland from the tyranny of King Edward I of England. Number 8. Number 9 on your list, a former Roman general sets out to exact vengeance against the corrupt emperor who murdered his family and sent him into slavery. Number 9. And number 10, a kind-hearted street urchin and a power-hungry villain vie for a magic lamp that has the power to turn their deepest wishes into truths. Number 10. Your bonus is pretty tough unless you're a big video game nerd. For 2 points, what video game publisher began developing the Prince of Persia video game series in 2003, leading to the failed movie in 2010? So this is not the original publisher or creator of the original games, but back in 2003, this big company took them over, and then the movie came out in 2010. What company was that? Those are all your questions for Sword and Sandal Films. Vernon, I hope you got them all correct. We'll be right back with the answers to check them. We have returned with Sword and Sandal movie answers in our satchel as we hold our sabers high in the air. Number 1, the son of Zeus and Hera is stripped of his immortality as an infant and must become a true hero in order to reclaim it. That's the story of Hercules. I took that from the Disney Hercules description, but they've made these movies so many times. Also, all these movies' descriptions sound like the exact same movie. So hopefully you were able to decipher what was what, but they are all very similar. Number 2, Moses learns of his identity as a Hebrew and his destiny to become the chosen deliverer of his people. That's the Prince of Egypt, number 2. Number 3, a young man must stop the Lord of Darkness from destroying daylight and marrying the woman he loves. Legend. The movie Legend with Tom Cruise, which I've never seen, but I've seen the cover of many times. And the Lord of Darkness played by Tim Curry in this movie with some crazy makeup and prosthetics. Go look up this movie, Legend, number 3. Number 4, Merlin the Magician helps Arthur unite the Britons around the round table of Camelot, even as dark forces conspire to tear it apart. Excalibur, 1981. Number 5, Perseus must battle Medusa and the Kraken to save the Princess Andromeda. Clash of the Titans, also 1981. Number 6, the hero decides to fight back as an outlaw when faced with the tyranny of the Sheriff Nottingham. If you know the Sheriff of Nottingham, you know the story of Robin Hood. Number 6, Robin Hood. Kevin Costner from that description I took. Number 7, King Leonidas of Sparta and a force of hundreds. Could it be about 300? Fight the Persians in 480 BC. That is 300. This is Sparta, kick into the hull. Number 8, Scottish warrior William Wallace leads his countrymen in a rebellion to free his homeland from the tyranny of King Edward I of England. Braveheart. Drawn and quartered at the end. Oh boy. Number 9, a former Roman general sets out to exact vengeance against the corrupt emperor who murdered his family and sent him into slavery. That's Gladiator. Are any of these movies not about someone exacting vengeance on a corrupt leader? I feel like that's all these movies. Number 10, a kind-hearted street urchin and a power-hungry villain vie for a magic lamp. That's Aladdin. Aladdin makes your deepest wishes come true. And for 2 points, Ubisoft was the answer to the game company that made the games in 2003 and on, and then the failed movie in 2010, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, who looks like my friend Ron Pulak. Shout out to Ron, who's definitely not listening to this episode, but he looks like a bizarro, less attractive Jake Gyllenhaal. There you go, Ron. A joke you'll never hear. That is today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out and having some fun with me on the podcast. If there's a topic you want to hear like Vernon did with Sword and Sandal Films, join the Patreon page, patreon.com/trivia with buds, and get into the mix to get your topics on our Excel sheet. We are going right through there, and this whole week, or picks from Patreon subscribers. So go do that. $5 or more gets you that honor every single month. Fact of the day for today, Mary had a little lamb. Oh, wait, no. We did that one yesterday. So let me give you a new weird fact here while I Google it real fast. Weird facts list. Let's see if I got a new one for you on the fly. I think I've said that one. I've said that one. Oh, boy. I've said that one. Oh, man. I should probably just stop recording. Oh, here's a fun one. Cotton candy was invented by a dentist. Dentist William Morrison and confectioner John C. Wharton invented machine-spun cotton candy in 1897. It was first introduced at the 1904 World's Fair as fairy floss. Then another dentist named Joseph Lascaux reinvented the machine in 1921. He came up with the name cotton candy, which replaced fairy floss. 2 dentists getting those teeth nice and crunchy with the crystallized sugar that whips up into cotton candy. And there you have it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend, and we'll see you next time for more trivia with Buds. Cheers.